What a day it has been with Moonriver, and I'm sure you're as hyped as I am. If you've been following Moonriver, if you had participated in the Moonriver crowd loan, then you're definitely hyped because this has been the best performing crowd loan ever, right? And I don't know if anything else is going to beat this, considering the circulating supply, considering the 30% allocation to the crowd loan contributors. I mean, everything has just been so good for this. It's like it was written on the wall, right? The writing was on the wall that this is going to be good, and it just shows. And I know I tweeted this like yesterday, and we got 109 votes here. The majority of you were pessimistic and said that you think that Moonriver is going to be trading at less than $50, and it just shows you. I mean, it started at $5, but it lasted for like a split second. And today we are going to be talking about the price, but before that, I have tweeted this. I just want to say a big thank you to the Moonriver team, right? Because they created the token. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have been able to take part and make these humongous gains, right? And the same, thank you to Kusama. If it wasn't for Kusama, if it wasn't for Gavin Wood's idea of the crowd loans, we wouldn't actually be able to take advantage of this and what's to come. I mean, if you've already missed the first batch of crowd loans, it's not too late. You can take part in a second batch, right? The second batch is due to happen on the 1st of September. I have done a video explaining to you how you can contribute to these crowd loans, so do check that out. And yeah, I mean, it's just something that you should keep in mind, because at the end of the day, it's like an airdrop, or like staking. You could think of it that way, except you're not giving away. You are risking, right? You are taking a risk because your Kusama could go down in value over 1 year or 11 months, but what's to say that it's not going to go up in value, right? It could work both ways. So it's definitely a great thing to happen, because the majority of you are likely taking part in these crowd sales, in these ICOs, in these IEOs on exchanges, and you're giving away your crypto and you're getting tokens which may be worth something or maybe not, right? You're taking a risk, a bigger risk. So with this, I mean, the risk is minimized, because if you are staking anyway, it doesn't matter. If the market dumps, you would have been caught anyway, except you'd get the staking rewards, which are like 14% for Kusama, right? And yeah, definitely. I mean, the APY, the ROI, whatever you want to call it, is definitely much higher for the crowd loans, and Moonriver has just showed it. Even for Karura. For Karura, I didn't do like the exact math, but I think it was around 40%. But for Moonriver, it's been humongous. I mean, if you've contributed to the Moonriver crowd loan, I mean, you had a 43.5% unlocked, and because it's 30% unlocked, but because it's been a number of months since they won the parachain auction and they started producing blocks, you got more unlocked out of those 70% vested. So in total, it was around 43.5%. If you had sold the 43.5% at this price, and we're going to be talking about the price, here it is now, humongous price. Even if you would have sold around the bottom here, around like $65, 60 to $65, right? You would still be making a humongous return. I mean, even at $60, the absolute bottom here on this dump, you would have made 1.5x what you contributed with your KSM to the whole Moonriver crowd loan, right? And this is only from the 43.5%. I'm not talking about the remaining 56.5% which you've got investing, right? Assuming that they're going to deliver, and I have no doubt that they won't, right? I'm sure they're going to deliver. Assuming that they're going to get listed on larger exchanges like Binance, because Binance Labs have invested in PureStake, the team behind both Moonriver and Moonbeam, assuming that Coinbase is going to list them. And I'm not going to say Coinbase, maybe Coinbase is not going to list them in a year, right? Because Coinbase are slow at listing, but Binance, right? With Binance, we have to be optimistic here. They heavily invested in PureStake. They see the transaction, they see the hype. So what's to say they're not going to list Moonriver on Binance, right? Of course, there's likely going to be a sell-off. There's likely going to be a bit of a pullback, but the team were super smart because they started going live with the staking from the get-go, right? They distributed yesterday, and then they announced that staking is also live yesterday. So they basically prevented a dump. I know some people are on staking to sell, because to unstake you only need to wait 2 hours, which is great, right? No other project on the Polkadot ecosystem that I'm aware of is doing a 2-hour unstake period. So Moonriver have beat everyone with that, right? That's awesome. It gives people the flexibility to unstake and sell whenever they want, right? 2 hours is not a long wait. It's super cool. I would have been okay even with 1 day, no complaints, right? But yeah, I mean, some of these other projects which have like a week staking or longer, that's pretty nasty, right? But I guess there's a reason behind it. Obviously, they don't want people to sell, right? So they're keeping you locked up because they're giving you the rewards. So here we're talking about more or less 20% rewards for staking, which is not too bad, right? It's the typical that you get. But aside from that, the price is doing extremely well. So you're already up a lot. Like think about Kusama, right? Think about Kusama for a moment. You're getting 14, I mean you were getting, right, when you took part in the crowd loan, 14.5 MOVR tokens for each one KSM contributed. So that is huge. Like think about that. That's like Kusama. When this hit the all-time high here at $140, this was like the equivalent of a Kusama, like $2,500 or something, right? It's like you got $2,500 for your Kusama. So this is humongous gains here. This is humongous. It's just it's hard to grasp. It's hard to understand how something like this could pump so much. But it was written in the stone. Like I said, the writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. I'm going to say it again, because you had low supply. You had 10 million total supply, right? But 1.5 million unlocked, 30% to the crowd loan contributors, no private sale investors. Right, and I mean it's like a community token, pretty much. You could think of it that way. It's like a community token in order to make you gains. This is pretty much what Moonriver has been in terms of the token itself, right? Of course, the project is doing stuff, but the token has been a freebie for a lot of people, which has given them humongous gains. And we have to thank the team. Like if it wasn't for the team, like I said, this wouldn't have happened. So there's no way that anyone should FUD Moonriver right now. Even if this goes to $40, it's still great. Even if this goes to $20, it's still great, right? There's no complaints, right? Moonriver has given you a lot of gains, no doubt about it. And you still have 56.5% vested. So if this performs, if this goes to 1,000, just imagine. It could happen. I'm not saying it will, but it could happen. I mean, some meme tokens have gone 10x. But yeah, $140, all-time high. Who would have thought? I mean, this like couple of hours from when trading began. Look at this. Humongous pump. Humongous pump. And the FOMO was unreal. And people have been staking. And of course, there was some sell-off here. It's normal, right? Based on this chart, we are forming the triangle, right? But yeah, this is how it is. This is how it is. It's great. And let's talk a little bit about this as well, a little bit about Kusama, because as you know, a lot of people that have been contributing to the Kusama crowd loans, they likely decided to buy back Kusama when they sold some Moonriver, right? Some people have sold Moonriver, and when you sell Moonriver, you likely have two options, right? What are you going to reinvest in? You're thinking, okay, if I like the Polkadot ecosystem, I'm going to stick to that. So you either reinvest in Kusama in preparation for the crowd loans. And by the way, I'm going to do a video tomorrow on the crowd loans and what's to come and their strategies. It's awesome. We got a lot of action-packed information. So make sure you're subscribed, by the way, if you're not already subscribed. But yeah, people are reinvesting in Kusama because of these crowd loans. And likely if they sold Moonriver and they got a huge profit, they're buying back their Kusama bags. And now they're letting the rest ride, right? It's free money, right? Whatever Moonriver does, it's free money to them at this point, right? They've got profit, they've got their Kusama back, and they're letting Moonriver run. So, I mean, how can you complain? Just going back to that point, I mean, it's just been amazing. People that have complained about Karura are now taking back those complaints, and they're really happy. So yeah, I am expecting Kusama to do well here too because of the crowd loans. I'm not saying that during the weekend it may not get choppy. We could potentially see a dump. We could potentially go to 275. Depends on what Bitcoin is going to do, right? We did find some good support around this area. We didn't dump harder. So yeah, thanks to Moonriver's pump, Kusama was bought. Thanks to all those crowd loan announcements, Kusama was bought. So it could be that Kusama is going to continue on here for a while between 290 and 300. And likely take off if it forms this bull flag, but it could just dump back down, right? It depends. And just before we move on here, I'd like to thank today's channel sponsor BitSwap DEX for sponsoring this video. So let's watch this short clip and then we'll continue on.
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
Again, there is a lot of hype with Kusama right now because of these crowd loans. Now, Centrifuge is the next one I want to talk about, and it's not doing too well. It's nasty, considering that they got a lot of marketing from Aave, and they're building for Aave, real-world access to Aave. And we had this dump here to 110, which was nasty. Then we pumped back up a little bit to 116, but we're struggling because now this has become resistance As you can see here, we have some resistance around this area, some resistance here, solid resistance in fact. So we need a lot more buying pressure to break past that once again and move into the 120 range, and then possibly head to 130 once again. But I have no doubt about it, it's gonna happen. It's just gonna take a while, right? Again, there is some risk. There are some risks because those early investors in Tin Lake are able to sell Centrifuge, and some of them may decide to sell, some of them may decide to hold. I know some people have decided to sell. There was a massive dump that took place a while back, which took it from 160 to 110, but I think it was this one here. No, it wasn't. It was this one. It was this one, right? We were at 142 and then we saw the dump because somebody decided to swap the substrate based version of Centrifuge over to Ethereum to sell it on Uniswap. So they dumped on Uniswap, constant market sell orders over 800k because they're an early Tin Lake investor, and then the market pumped it back up. There was a lot of FOMO, of course, and then slowly pulled back down, even though we had this little bit of a pump here, consolidation, and then we dumped back now because of the market conditions, right? Bitcoin dumped, so of course Centrifuge followed. So it's not necessarily FUD or anything. I mean, the project's doing great, the project's constantly progressing. And I am going to talk about the crowd loan announcement for Altair, their Canary network. I'm actually surprised what they're doing, so I am actually more bullish now on Altair than I was a while back. So I'm going to talk about that, and then I'll talk about what I will potentially be crowd loaning into, because I am targeting 3 different projects for the second batch of the Kusama crowd loans, and I'll talk about that in the video tomorrow. So yeah, this is pretty much it from today's video. I'd like to thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.